Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to review the Star Wars Creature Cantina plate. Wait, that's not the Star Wars Creature Cantina playset. Oh, it's the Real West Western Cafe playset. Kenner tried to trick me. Um, yeah, Kenner decided they were going to reuse the same molds and design from a previous playset to make a Real West Western Cafe adventure set. Action playset actually. Um, Butch and Sundance, the early years, came out about a decade later, not featuring Robert Redford and Paul Newman. So they decided to try to cash in on the popularity they thought that movie was going to have, and it kind of fizzled out. But they were going to do other characters like Billy the Kid and Geronimo and Jesse James, and just do all your Western legends. And it kind of didn't ever take off. But they reused the Star Wars Creature Cantina model, and it's pretty much the same. It was molded in brown instead of the orangey looking color. Had a different backdrop and different stickers. The doors were different. Other than that, it's about the same playset. We're going to take a look at that today. I'm going to show you how you can get the color just right if you're trying to take an old Creature Cantina playset and kind of make a custom of this. So I'll show you a way to compare the browns and get it just right. And let's take a look at it. All right, this is the playset, the infamous playset. Um, Obviously, it was based off of the Star Wars Creature Cantina playset. Kenner just kind of reused the mold and everything. And they were going to start this Real West action figure line. They're going to introduce characters like Geronimo and Billy the Kid and Jesse James and all this. I actually have the instructions and everything that went with it. So they actually introduce the characters and the instructions. There's the parts list that came, all the stuff that came with it. And then it shows you how to assemble it. It gives you a little historical information about different Western characters like Jesse James. Here's the assembly instructions. It says where to put the labels. Where you put all your different levers and stuff. And then there was a little write up about Billy the Kid. It shows you how to do the doors with the rubber band and all that, which is the trickiest part of this playset. It's kind of tricky to get those doors in place. And the rubber bands would always snap. When I was a kid, and I had to try to get my dad to help me with it on the Creature Cantina when I didn't have this when I was a kid. But then you got right up on Geronimo. It tells you how to put the backdrop in place. And this one has a two-part backdrop. I'll show you in a minute. It tells you how to operate the doors. And it tells about the action features of the playset. How you pull those little levers to make them fall over, but you usually made them fall over trying to pull the lever. I think that's all of it. I'll show all the pages. Yeah. So I also have part of the box that came with. I don't have the whole box, but I have a piece of the box. And some of these figures I have displayed are from the Gabrielle uh, Lone Ranger action figure line. I'll show a picture of that. All right. And I did not put the little bartender in there because I didn't want to punch him out. Not until I scan him, at least. I'll probably just make a repro of him and leave this one intact, so I have an original. But It's a little cardboard bartender. I put Isaac from the Love Boat back there as the bartender. It's funny they made Love Boat action figures. Anyway, he is made of cardboard. So I'm going to scan him and the backdrop and the stickers. Luckily, the stickers on these have just kind of pulled loose over the years. The glue just got dried out, and I won't have any trouble taking the stickers off to scan these. So I'm going to try to scan all this stuff in case somebody wants to get a Creature Cantina set and make their own. They can kind of paint it brown and then just print out the stickers in the backdrop. When I get 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to put a bunch of stuff up like that. All these old cardboard play sets and everything, I got a bunch of them, and the stickers and stuff like that. So I'm going to do some high-res scans of these. And when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to share them with everybody. You can make your own little custom sets and stuff, or just try to restore your old play sets or whatever. But I'm always trying to restore old toys. I just think it's cool to try to bring them back to life. This one's actually all original. It's I'm missing the sticker that goes on top of here at the moment, but I do have it. It came off like the other ones did, and I put it in a little drawer, and I couldn't find it right away, but I'll find that and scan it also. And the backdrop is pretty much like the Creature Cantinas. It has that curve in it, but it also has this part that goes up on top of it and slides down those little slots to make it look like there's a chandelier. But the backdrop's pretty much the same kind of idea as the Creature Cantina. It's got a little curve in it with the little seams or whatever you call it. And it says 1979 20th Century Fox Film Corps. And I'm gonna set this aside. Let's check out the action features first, and then I'll break it down for y'all. Okay, so it's got the same action features as the Creature Cantina. It's the exact same playset, basically. You have the little levers that make it, I guess you put them like that. And let's see. So he's like, I'm going to shoot you. And then you pull the lever, and it makes the little thing pop up and it falls over. So, and there's another one back here that does the same thing. There's a lever right here. I think y'all get the idea of that. Most people are familiar with the Star Wars Creature Cantina one, I think. And then it has the doors over here. I'll get a better angle at that. So this is the Lone Ranger from the Gabrielle line. And these are my originals from when I was a kid, the Lone Ranger and Tonto. I've had these for a long time. And they still have, I have his gun. He's got his gun right now. No, he has his gun. They're actually complete. I just let this other guy borrow his gun because I didn't have one for him. And then you got, I don't want to stand up. Okay, you got Custer. He's from the Gabrielle line from Lone Ranger. And they have 5 points of articulation like Star Wars figures, but they also have the bended knees, so they really got 7 points of articulation. And then this Buffalo Bill, he's from the Gabrielle line. And Butch Cavendish is from the Gabrielle Lone Ranger line. I've had all these since I was a kid. They're from 1980. And then the other ones are actually part of the Real West. Well, these two aren't, but this is Butch Cassidy, and they are made. Kenner did these. They were part of that Real West line that the Playset's from. So you'll see a lot of similarities in Butch Cassidy and the Indiana Jones figure. It has that little quick draw action thing. I'll push that button on the back, and his hand goes up to a quick draw action. And then Sundance has the same feature, but in the back it's the quick draw action. But they kind of have the same kind of look as the Raiders of the Lost Ark figures in that sense. I think all of them had that pretty much. Let's see, I forget this one's name. I'll put it up on the screen. Yeah, he had it too. Want me to go there? That gun sticking in his holster when I did it, and it's holding it down. Anyway, if I had his gun that actually fit, then it would go back further, and he has the quick draw action. Like I said, he borrowed Tonto's gun, so it don't really fit in his hand right. And then he's from the Real West line, the Butch Cassidy. It's actually Butch and Sundance the early years. And it's actually a pretty good likeness. That's William Catt. That one's not such a good likeness, but he's the one that played the Greatest American Hero. He played Sundance. It was actually a prequel to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And that's Tom Berenger. That one's a pretty good likeness of him. He played Butch Cassidy in that prequel movie. They thought that movie, because the first one was so great, that it would be a big hit, and they were going to make a toy line to go with it. But the thing was, it was so many years later, and they didn't have Robert Redford and Paul Newman, so it didn't have the same draw, and it was kind of like a box office flop, I think. And that was Brian Dennehy. I forgot his character's name. I'll put that up on the screen, but he has that quick draw action also, and he was in that movie. All right, actually, I think we covered. Oh, this is a Wrangler action figure, and put out by Ertl, and they had like the early GI Joe type articulation. They didn't swivel here, but they did at the shoulders, and then they had the gaskets and all that in it. And this one, that was my Smokey and the Bandit figure. I used him as Burt Reynolds when I was a kid. Anyway, and then Isaac from the Love Boat back here. I have all the Love Boat figures on card. I'll do a video on those one day. But I got one of him just to be a bartender in the Cantina when I was a kid, because we didn't have a bartender for the Cantina, so I just thought it was funny. I made him we actually watched the Love Boat, me and my family, when I was kids. So I got him and put him behind the bar of my Creature Cantina, so that was my little joke. Anyway, he had a little cameo. I guess it could be Richard Pryor. There was a Richard Pryor skit where he was he was the barkeeper in the cantina. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that, but look that up. It's I can't remember what it's called. It was just like Star Wars, Richard Pryor Star Wars Cantina. If you Google that or look it up on YouTube, you'll find it. It's pretty funny. And it has a lot of the actual masks and everything they used in the Star Wars movie. It's like straight up Mos Eisley with Richard Pryor in it. It was pretty cool. So Richard Pryor and B. Arthur. I don't know how many other celebrity bartenders there were in the cantina, but there were those two. So he's sort of my Richard Pryor figure too, because I saw that when I was a kid. I remembered that, and he kind of reminded me of Richard Pryor, that figure. He wasn't dressed like that in the skit, but they got the head down pretty good. Anyway, Let's look at this. Oh, these are the horses. These are the Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid horses. They made them for the Lone Ranger too. They had Scout and Silver, but these are actually from the Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, and they had a little trigger where you can make them look like they're running. So that's pretty cool. So under here, so I hit it with the saddlebag. I thought that was pretty neat. Then this is the other one. That one's front legs aren't working very good, or at all. There you go. They're trying to go. I have to work on that one. Okay. So as far as the actual Cantina, the doors are different. They open the same way with the rubber bands and everything, but they are not all the way up and down. The ones on the, I'm sorry, I'm off camera. Let's see, okay. The ones on the Creature Cantina went all the way up and down. They were brown, and these are just like this old saloon door. So it's got this long stem here. I imagine those broke on a lot of these that did survive. So the doors are probably the hardest thing to find on these if you found any of it loose. But another thing is the color. I'm going to try to get that right for y'all because there was a question somebody had about what the exact tone of brown it was if they want to try to paint it. And I'll try to find something here for comparison that you might have on hand to compare it to so you can kind of match it. Hammerhead is the closest thing I could find. I mean, he's almost camouflaged on it. So, I mean, that if you could recreate Hammerhead's color, you'd have a pretty close to the original. So there's your reference. Hope that helps. It's not working right now. The bird band must have. All right, I think I got it working right now. I swear I worked on this thing for 15 minutes trying to get it perfect before I start this video, and then it twisted on me. The rubber bands were pesty. All right, let's try it now. Come on, work perfectly. Yay! So there's the doors working perfectly, finally. There's from this side. I think I hit the button wrong. There we go. There's a satisfaction in getting those doors to work right. It's just so complicated to get it to work seamlessly. All right, so like I said, if I get 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to scan all these things, and you can get an old Creature Cantina playset and make this if you want to do like a little Western setup or something. I'm going to do some other videos too of Western kind of themed stuff. I have the Lone Ranger Western Town that you had to mail off for, and I think it was like on the back of comic books and stuff. And it was put out by Gabriel or Gabriel. I don't know how you say it. Gabriel, I guess. And I've never taken it out of the envelope. It's still all perfectly intact, unpunched out and everything. I'm going to scan that so I can share that with you guys when I reach 1,000 subscribers. And I'm going to put it together in a video after that and do a review of it and show you how it's put together and everything. So that'll be interesting. And also these old tin litho playsets that were put out by Marks and some other toy brands back in the day, they make good backdrops for these type characters. So you can make like a pretty good little Western setup with these old things. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I thought this playset was very interesting just because of the uniqueness of it being rehashed from old Kenner playset and from old Star Wars playset, I mean. And it's kind of like the same as the Ewok village. They rehashed into the Sherwood Forest for the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves line. I'm going to do a video on the Sherwood Forest playset and compare those two one day. I'll probably do one comparing this one with the original Cantina eventually, just a little kind of follow-up to this one. I didn't have my Creature Cantina playset where I could get to it easily at the moment, so that's why I don't have it right now. But I'll do a little follow-up just to compare those two briefly, do a little short video if you want to see them side by side. So subscribe and you'll get notifications when I get more stuff up that I've been talking about. I have a bunch of other vintage playsets I'm doing right now. I just did one for the Cobra Command headquarters. It was a cardboard playset that Sears put out in '83, and we got the Mego uh, Star Trek Enterprise bridge from the motion picture. We got the Mego Buck Rogers Starfighter Command Center that was put out by Mego. Those are like plastic, like thin plastic and stickers mostly. The Buck Rogers has a little cardboard to it. And then I just did one on the Remco Mini Monsters and Voltron, and I'm doing a bunch of old vintage toy lines. I got the Crystal Palace. So check out my other videos. I think you'll like them. I got a lot of really old, rare play sets. It's probably a lot of them probably things you haven't actually seen in person before, if at all. So I think you'll like them if you like old 70s and 80s rare play sets and stuff. Well, thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe, because once I get 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to put all these manuals and backdrops and stickers and all these I'm going to do a high-res scan of, and I'm going to make them available to you guys. So you can click right here to subscribe, or you can click here to see our latest videos. Thanks for watching.